So in this case, we are going to consider the properties of a trapezium. So we are going to notice that a trapezium is totally different from all the other shapes that we had, considering from those properties of a parallelogram, as I said before. A trapezium is going to be in this format, where in this case, if we are to consider, we are going to notice that these sides, they will be parallel to each other, which is the opposite, only one pair, this part. These two, they are not parallel. So we are going to just have only one condition. But if we consider back then, all these other shapes a square, because they had the properties of a parallelogram, they had opposite sides being parallel. So you consider to say on this other side, these are parallel, this other side, they are parallel. But this is not when we are to consider a trapezium. We are considering only one pair. Only one pair. So we can have this shape in any manner, but only one pair. So that is what we refer to as a trapezium. It is a quadrilateral in this case. We are going to have this as a quadrilateral, all right, with one pair, only one in this case. One pair of opposite sides. One pair of opposite sides being parallel. So that is what we are seeing. Not as we had on a trapeze or on a parallelogram, on a rhombus, on a square, on a rectangle. We're not having that. The opposite sides, considering these two sides, they will be parallel. These two sides also will be parallel. But when you take a trapezium, it is only one pair. So you must put this into consideration. That is the major part. So as these two sides are parallel, we go back to the properties of parallel lines, guys, co-interior angles, this and that. This is the major property. So sometimes you might be given a trapezium, which is referred to as an isosceles trapezium. An isosceles trapezium is the one now where those two sides which are not parallel will be equal in length. These two sides which are not parallel, remember these two, they are parallel. But these ones that are not parallel, these ones, they will be equal in length. So that is considered to as an isosceles trapezium, the non-parallel sides. Non-parallel sides are equal when it is an isosceles trapezium. So meaning to say A to B is the same as from D to C. That is what we are having from A to B. From A to B, it is equal as from C to D or from D to C. A trapezium has these properties. Once you understand these properties, guys, you are not going to have a challenge in terms of your revision. So in this case, I just want us to consider some of the typical questions, how these questions can be given as in terms of your revisions. All you just need, guys, just know the properties, all right? Just note the properties. Do not worry about a lot of things. The properties are the major part. So they were given a specific question that we are going to use. All right, let me try to have it this way. Just a little bit. All right. So this is our question. And on this question, we are given that this is a trapezium. It is a trapezium. In trapezium A, B, C, E. A, B, C, E. This is a trapezium. So we only have this pair of sides, one pair. AE is parallel to BC. Okay, they're already stated on this part here. AE is parallel to BC. And angle E is equal to 70 degrees. So the question is, calculate the value of X. So in order for you to determine the value of X, we must have an equation, which is a statement. So the statement will be taken from where? The properties now of the shape. All right, so as we said, that these two sides, they are parallel. It therefore follows that properties of parallel lines can be used. All right? Yes, I can add up all these angles, equate them to 360, because we do understand that each and every quadrilateral, as long as it is a four-sided shape, A, B, C, D, like this, it's a four-sided shape. So these angles inside, they add up to 360. You can form an equation by adding all these. Or you can simply go straight forward to the shape that you are referring to. If these two sides are parallel, let's go back to the properties of parallel lines. All right, we've got two lines that are parallel. We cross like this, our transverse. We said this angle and this angle, they add up to 180 degrees. They are referred to as the co-interior angles, the one that form a C like this, co-interior angles. This is the condition of this angle and this angle. Co-interior from the parallel lines, angle A and angle B. If we take angle A and B, if we take these two, angle A plus angle B, they are co-interior angles, so they must give us 180 degrees. Angle D and angle C, if we take that, angle C plus angle D must give us 180 degrees. These are properties from the parallel line concept. Co-interior angles. So in this case, we can use any, because these two, they are parallel AE and BC. So therefore, where we form a C like this, angle A and angle B, if we add these two, angle A, which is 2x plus 10 degrees, this is our angle A. We add it to angle B plus angle B, which is 4x minus 10 degrees. We must get 180 degrees. The reason here is that these are co-interior angles. So we are talking about what? Co-interior angles. Since AE is parallel to BC from the properties of what? A trapezium. We have formed an equation. Yes, we could have used all these sum of angles, they equal to 360. We add up everything. It's up to you. But we can simply use that. We can work with angle D and angle C, 5x minus 40 degrees plus 3x minus 20 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. They are co-interior angles again. Anyone that you want. As long you are forming what? Co-interior angles. You have formed an equation. That's your statement. So from there, let us solve. All right. So we are going to take the like terms, the part where we have got x. So this is 2x, this is 4x, 2 and 4 is going to give us what? 6. 2 plus 4, that is 6x. We combine the numbers, that is 10 and minus 10. So that was going to cancel 10 minus 10. That's a 0 there. All right. So this cancels. As we can see, 10 minus 10, that's a 0. So it simply means 6x is equal to what? Is equal to 180 degrees. Guys, you dealt with equations. How do we solve this? A product, we simply divide by what? By 6. So that's it. 180 divided by 6 is going to give us what? 30 degrees. So therefore, our x was going to be equal to what? 30 degrees. Just like that. Just like that. Know your properties, know your shapes. With this, you can answer as many questions as you can, as many questions. So do not forget to follow up. If there are any questions that you do not understand, sending up your questions in this WhatsApp group. We can use the social platforms whereby we can be able to communicate so that it can help us to understand each and every topic as we are preparing these topics for the exams which are ahead of time.